who the founder is. All you have to look is business model, AI propensity, is it going to give me ROI, 5x, 6x, whatever your measurement is, and go from there. So everyone here, I know there are a lot of VCs sitting in the room, please give a chance. Look around. There are a lot of diverse founders who we can definitely have a conversation with. At least give them a chance.
And that's, yes. And before Jeanette addresses the kind of the why Chicago and climate tech, well, before she addresses that issue, I do want to say as a point of personal privilege how in a few minutes later in today's summit, you're going to hear from some diverse founders, in particular an initiative that is very near and dear to my heart and my good friends at P33 called TechRise. And so it just proves that there are diverse founders who are doing climate tech. And so I hope you stick around to hear some of these pitches that you will hear later this afternoon. But I love your point about you have to be intentional. And TechRise is just one example of how corporations can work to really enhance the pool and enhance the readiness of our diverse founders. So now, why is Chicago? So from a UL perspective and a larger perspective, why is Chicago a great place for corporations to work in technology around sustainability and climate?
Yeah, thank you. So when Mayor Johnson was speaking, he talked a little bit about the rebuilding that went on in Chicago following the Great Chicago Fire. And UL was actually founded during that time. It was part of that rebuilding. And so I would say that those deep historical roots have given UL deep relationships, not only with local companies, but also regulators. Beyond deep historical roots, I would say that proximity to industry and also research and institutions have been foundational to UL's long history in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, from a company that operates globally, especially nationally like JP Morgan, why is Chicago a right market for you, for instance, and the work that you do?
Yeah, no, so we've been banking in Chicago through our predecessor companies for over 150 years. I'm going to say almost close to 160. So we have been a institution who has financed small businesses. If we look at the number of small business clients that we have today, it's about 350,000 within the Chicago area. We have 15,000 employees, 400 branches. So we have a presence. The opportunity here, though, is to really get embedded in the climate tech industry. So, while it's a relatively new, like I mentioned earlier, relatively new effort for us as a firm, I think there's a tremendous opportunity here to leverage the resources, the banking products, the relationships, the people here in Chicago. So for us, it's really an extension of what we've already been providing with a more intentional focus on this part of the economy. Chicago, I'm biased because I'm from here. I think it's a city that has grit. It's got a really great, diverse, hardworking population. And I do think, I'm a second gen. My parents are migrated here. I saw the value of work. I saw how much they dedicated their time to work and providing a great life. And I was just speaking to somebody in the crowd, I'm not going to name who it is, but a founder that moved from the Ukraine just this year. And talk about an opportunity. I think we just have such a great, diverse population here with all kinds of backgrounds that are really committed to making this work. Whether you're in the services business, whether you're a founder, whether you're in education, it's just this. It's a wonderful community and dialogue, and I think the opportunity is fantastic. So being here kind of gives me the chills, candidly, because I haven't seen anything this robust and this type of energy in Chicago in a long time. So I'm very excited about it personally, but from JP Morgan's perspective, we can certainly help support and be an enabler of growth for the segment.
Yeah, we moved up here, I was going to say, just from a personal perspective, 23 years ago, my wife and I are from the South, and we were looking for a new place to advance our education and our work, and we were lucky enough to choose Chicago, and it's been incredible for us. The idea, living in the city, being able to walk to a couple of the best universities in the world, business school. My wife took her medical residency in the city, and we've continued to grow. I have 2 kids who are Midwesterners, and which is a weird thing to say, but we're still here. I know that going through the winters makes you tougher, and I know that it's just, there was a comment earlier about the skyline and driving down Lakeshore Drive. I take my kids down here, and you can have anything you want, in Chicago, any type of cultural or sporting activity. Wonderful array of people who are incredibly welcoming. Again, as somebody from the South, we didn't know how friendly people would be in Chicago. It's been incredible for us. So that's why we're still here, and that's why Crow thrives here as well, because we have a great supply of talent to grow, across our firm.
So I work with a wide variety of founders across the globe. I think what gravitates me towards Chicago is the ability to take risks. And especially in the last few years, I have seen founders come out and really take some massive risk. And that's the game of innovation. That's the game of entrepreneurship. And if you're willing to take the risk, the rewards are going to be amazing. The other thing that I do want to add is I'm not going to disclose names here, but I've met some amazing VCs here who are actually willing to invest in social impact and climate tech startups. The world that I live in, which is Silicon Valley, we often tend to measure the ROI on an investment on a certain matrix, so 5x, 10x, so on and so forth. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was at a summit, which was a closed-door summit around social impact. And there was a gentleman who stood up in the room and said, you know what? The impact that a social impact startup will have cannot be measured in numbers. It will have a rippling effect on our economy, society, and community. And that gentleman is one of the top renowned VCs here in Chicago. And Chicago has a lot of respect from my end. I work with a lot of founders here, and look forward to continuing to see amazing innovation coming out from here.
Jeanette, we started with you in your introduction, so we'll give you, as we're about to run out of time, we'll give you the last word. Why Chicago?
Beyond what I shared before, I am from Chicago, but I moved away and don't live here anymore. But I think there's a lot of exciting things going on in the tech world here. So I definitely see the appeal and attraction to come back.
One of the things that's unique about Chicago is the way that our civic society is interwoven. We have corporations that work with the public sector, that work with nonprofits, and I think these corporations, and I will count Verizon there too, we show that we are engaged with not only the founder community, but we partner. Yes, we do compete on some things, but we work for the betterment of society when it comes to a lot of issues like the climate. So let's give this panel a round of applause. And with that, I will turn it over to our moderator, Mr. Reedley himself.
What a fascinating panel. Let's give him another round of applause. The two of the corporations represent